everyone, it's Karen here and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a new video in my personal art diary series. This series has been very successful, although it hasn't had a lot of views or as many views as I thought it would have. It really helped those people that are coming to my channel and really need that extra motivation or that encouragement, or even to listen to somebody that can relate to and that is maybe going through similar things, not specifically always me, but just knowing that a lot of people are going through the same issues, especially in this community. When you're a creator, we tend to go through a lot of similar things, and this series is really helping to kind of make you feel like you're not all alone in this world, and that many people are going through the same things. So today's topic is about putting yourself out there and feeling that you're not good enough when you do it. And this was suggested in my new Facebook group, Karen Tamir and Friends Creative Space. When I asked a question about topics that people wanted to talk about, my friend Shannon suggested that this was one of the topics that maybe I should bring up. And the reason why she said because the first time she ever put a project up, and she's an amazing creator, when she put that, she was so afraid of how people were going to react to that and how she felt that she wasn't good enough and that her project wasn't good enough, even though it probably was. So I think a lot of creators, especially beginner creators, are going to be feeling that way. I started creating a long time ago, almost 20 years ago, for myself, but truly putting myself out there in a blog and things like that. I started doing that in 2011, and I mean that's 9 years ago, but think about it, it kind of opened up this new world for me. And social media wasn't as big as it is now, so the avenues of where people could see stuff was much smaller than where it is today. So for those of you who are beginners, it is probably so difficult to just put yourself out there for the fear that you're not going to be either accepted or people are not going to like your work. And that is a huge criticism on somebody, because then they feel that they cannot put their stuff out there because they might feel bad about it, or they might not feel that they're good enough. But what I wanted to say to you is that although it's very valid that you should feel that way sometimes, it shouldn't rule you. And why I say that is because we've all been in that space. We've all started at some point. So the only way to actually put yourself out there is putting yourself out there. There is no choice. Anything in this world, no matter what you do, you can get good or bad criticism, and I'm putting that in quotation marks because there's not really good and bad, especially in art and creativity. It's all relative to the subjective eye. But I really believe that the only way for you to get ahead, improve, or just learn from things is by putting yourself out there. And this is really important, because if you don't put yourself out there, then you're not going to be able to, nobody's ever going to see your work. And if you put yourself out there and you get some criticism, then what you'd have to do is either take that constructively. Obviously, most people are not going and saying really mean things. They're just maybe not making you feel how you think your art should feel. So number one, you should be feeling great about every piece you do. Even if somebody else might not think so, you should be feeling good about your art piece. And what I say is that not everybody's going to like every single thing that every person does. Let's be realistic. We live in a world that every person has their own opinion, and some people are very opinionated. But as long as you like it, that's the number one step, because that will give you the confidence to put it out there. Now, yes, there's going to be people that are not going to be as excited to see your work because it's not their style, because they like certain colors and not others. So it's really, really subjective. It's like, like art is in the eye of the beholder. I mean, we know that. We could even go to a museum and see thousands of pieces of art, And we're only going to like some of those. We're going to like every single style. So how can we expect others to like every single style? So putting yourself out there, knowing that, yes, some people might not like your work, that is okay. There's no reason why. If everybody likes your work, great. But if some people don't, it's really not a big deal. Because we just move on. We create another piece of art and something else that helps us, inspire us, and lets us kind of release that expression that we have inside. So I really want to encourage you to put yourself out there. Don't feel like inadequate about doing that. It is okay to post something and not get as many likes or as many people following you. It doesn't mean your artwork is not good. It just means that some people like it and some people don't. And one of the things that Shannon said is like, sometimes you put things on Instagram or on YouTube and people are not watching, right? Well, you have to remember that YouTube or Instagram algorithm makes a difference. If there's somebody following a lot of people either on Instagram or on YouTube, the likelihood of your Instagram post coming up in their feed or them seeing it is much less than if somebody's following only a few people. So there's so many things to consider. So truthfully, what's important to know is that it's not personal towards you. And if you do feel, let's say, sad that somebody doesn't like your work or people are not seeing your work, it's okay to feel sad about that. But the important thing is, how long are you going to dwell on this? If it's like, a few hours or a day where you're bummed out that this happened, by all means, of course, we're humans. We are going to feel sad if somebody is not liking our stuff. However, what it should be doing is motivating you to push yourself forward and continue to create, because you're not creating for other people. You love the response that other people give you, but you're technically creating for yourself. So that's the most important thing. And if you're creating to sell, and let's say a piece of art doesn't sell, you know what? That's okay. Welcome to the real world. Not all artists sell all their pieces. We're not all Picassos, and even Picasso did not sell all his art pieces. So when he was in his highest point. So let's be realistic. Not everybody's going to love all our pieces. Not everybody's going to like everything on Instagram and YouTube. But it's enough that some people do, and that mainly you like what you create and you're happy with the results. Then that's enough. And all you have to do is just put yourself out there, because you never know. You never know what the outcome is going to be. But it's okay to do that, because art is so subjective that there's going to be people that love it and there's people that might like it less. Nobody hates art, but it's just some people love a certain piece and some people might be okay with it. So I truly, truly encourage you to continue to showing your creations and putting yourself out there, especially if you're a beginner. Don't be afraid. It doesn't matter. You just continue. And if you want a safe place to kind of put your stuff out there, come and join my group. Especially if you're inspired by one of my videos or one of my projects or products, then I'd love to see that. Because you know what? Sometimes you never know that somebody will just love something that you create that is original more than anybody else. And if you're copying somebody, that's okay as well, because this is how we learn. So be okay with what you create and just put yourself out there. I really hope this encourages you, and thank you so much for watching today. Have an amazing day, everyone, and I hope you can visit me on Instagram, Facebook group, and YouTube. All the links are below in the description area. Have an amazing day, everyone. Bye.